Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SavvyCast. This is Jamie, and I'm thrilled that you're here today, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast. Okay, guys, I am doing a solo podcast. This is not going to take long, but I'm going to talk about fragrance. I get asked now and then about what I wear and what Zane wears as far as fragrance. And because I am on several different platforms, I have a blog that I share things on, and I've got Instagram, I've got Pinterest, and then I've got the podcast. I want to give just a little tip, because if you're like I am, you have certain people that maybe you follow and you like their look. And if you see something that they're sharing, you want to know where to get it, like right then. So I'm going to tell you how to find anything that I happen to be sharing quickly and easily. And that is on an app that many of you probably already have. This app has become very, very popular with guys and girls, but it's the LTK app. It means like to know it. And it looks like this for my YouTube peeps. It's just a white app with like a circle, a black circle, and it has LTK. And if you download that app at the Google or App Store, you sign up and you can follow different personalities or influencers or whatever you want to call them. And if you like someone's look, you can follow them on LTK and you will get alerted anytime they post something new. Or you can also favorite things that maybe you want to come back to later, don't want to buy right away, and you can go back and find it. You can get alerts for when things go on sale. So anyway, it is a very, very handy shopping tool for those of you who want to be able to see what your favorite personality might be buying and you don't really like shopping yourself. It's really handy, because I run into so many people that one of their favorite things about following me, and I have this same thing with people that I follow. They say, thank you so much. I hate shopping, so I love just seeing all of the things you have and getting, to choose whether I like them or not. So I'm the same way. I've got a few people that I always want to know what they're getting because I love their style. Okay, so we're going to talk very quickly about fragrance. Okay, I'm going to start. I've got my fragrances here. I've got mine and Zane's current. I'm going to start, though, because I always love to have a mid-range. We have got pricey, but worth it, in my opinion. And then we've got Zane's, which is super duper duper bargain, but it doesn't smell like it. It smells great. But there's a middle fragrance that I want to toss out for those who would never, ever pay what you would, pay for this, that I'm going to share in a minute. My fragrance for about 2 decades was one that I still love. I think it's fabulous, but I just moved to another one. But it's Trish McEvoy, and it's number 9 Blackberry Vanilla Musk. Now, there is another Trish that I think may have 9 in it, but all you have to remember is Trish 9 Blackberry Vanilla Musk. That fragrance is sort of in the same, fragrance genre as the one I'm wearing now, in that it is a light, not overpowering, very subtle and sophisticated fragrance, if you can call a fragrance sophisticated. To me, a sophisticated fragrance is one that you get a whiff of it and it's like, oh, that is lovely. To me, a fragrance that I cannot tolerate, and a lot of people can't, is when it's harsh. I can recall many times sitting in church, and you may have experienced this, whether at church or in a meeting, where someone walks in, and it's almost always a woman, and there is a fragrance that she's wearing, a fragrance so overpowering that you literally almost feel like you've got to get up and move, because maybe you're sensitive to fragrance like I am, you get a headache. It can, and then it almost settles on you. It's so heavy, you smell it on yourself when you leave. So everything I'm sharing is very subtle, but just absolutely sophisticated and delicious. Okay, smelling. Okay, so the Trish McAvoy number 9 Blackberry Vanilla Musk is a very reasonable price point. It's, I don't know, I can't remember the amount, but the standard size, the largest bottle, I believe is 95. And the body cream is absolutely even better smelling. It's the exact same scent, but it just smells better. Delicious smelling. So light and fresh with a little hint of fruitiness and soft. That is a fragrance that I think anyone would love. So if you want a good price point, you've got that. And I would recommend that you go to Nordstrom or Saks. Those are the two places that I know that sell them. Think probably Bloomingdale's, Neiman. Go to the fragrance counter on all of mine, this one and the Trish, and just ask for a sample or get them to spray it on a card. So Trish was my faithful for years. Now, this is what I'm wearing now, and it is on the highest end probably of fragrance. This is in my bucket of a splurge that is 100% worth it, because to me, if you're sensitive and fragrance either bothers you or it delights your senses, you have to be willing to spend whatever it is that you're comfortable with to smell good. And my preference is, if I would rather not have a fragrance and just go without than to have something that just didn't fit me, that I didn't like. Fragrance is very important because it not only affects you, it affects those around you. So this is Baccarat Rouge 540. And let me try to pronounce, y'all, I mispronounced so many things, but it's Maison Francis Curtijon Paris Baccarat Rouge 540. Okay, this is made in Paris and it has a cult following, and I get comments when I'm out by one of two types of people. Those who know exactly what I'm wearing because they're in the cult too. They'll say, love your 540, love your fragrance, I've got mine. Or people who say, what are you wearing? And I'm going to start with the most expensive, and then I'm going to go down to several other ways that you can get this fragrance and not pay as much, but still have the exact same fragrance. So I'm going to start with, this is the nicest that you can get. It is in the red bottle. When you see this signature red bottle with the gold stamp on the front and the gold top, this is it. This is, I want to say, between $500 and $600. It is the perfume. It is the most concentrated, and it's the extract de perfume, and it is 2.4 fluid ounces. I've had this almost a year, and there's enough left probably for 3 more weeks. But guys, I use this every day. So it will go a long way, and you could do the math. I don't ever, do that, but a lot of people will figure the cost versus how many days they think they can wear it to determine if they're comfortable with it. But I don't know how to describe this other than it's absolutely elegant. It is the best smelling fragrance that I've ever smelled in my life. And it has a cult following. If you know, you know. Once I smelled this, I could not get it off my mind. It is exquisite. It is made in Paris. And the one reason that it is so expensive is they make it in limited quantities. It is something that it's very well known in the world of fashion or whatever. It's just one of the best. So you're going to pay the most for this bottle there. Now, you can get a smaller bottle if you can find it in stock. And this is how many? Okay, it's about half the size. And it's 1.5 ounces. These are harder to find. I was at Gus Meyer, one of my favorite stores, with one of my favorite people, Norma Sampley. She happened to have one of these, and it's the half size, and I wanted to get it for travel, but this will last, my goodness, 6 to 8 months. But I like to have a smaller one for traveling, but she had one left. If you can find this, and I've linked to where I have found them on Instagram, on my LTK, but just know this one may be sold out because the smaller ones are harder to find. but it is the same, because if it's in the red bottle, it will be the perfume, the most concentrated. So you can get the biggest one, or you can get the smaller one. And if you get the red bottle, you're getting the perfume, which is the most concentrated. Now, this is $5.40, but this is scented body oil. Now, I learned from my daughter, who is in college, that a lot of her friends, this is what they get. It's the large size, like the large in the red, but it's body oil. And guys, I'm going to tell you, and she said they get this because it's a lot less. I can't remember exactly how much. I'm going to spray some on. I told Norma, because she had this at the counter too at Gus. If you're local, you can get all of this at Gus Meyer. And there's also Saks. I said, Norma, I almost think this smells better. It's got just, there's something different about it. I guess just because of the formulation. Fabulous. This is a very good price point. And this to me would make a fabulous gift for a college graduate, for a bride who's about to go on her honeymoon. It's just exquisite. Mother's Day, anniversary. Start with the body oil, or start with the smaller one. And then if whoever you give it to or buy it for falls in love with it, then eventually maybe they can get the largest perfume. Then I'm going to show you the last, and this is, I believe it's 85. This is the body cream, or scented body cream. This is absolutely exquisite as well. And I want to tell you what I love about the body cream in both Trish and this one. You can put this on top. I always just like put it on my neck, on the pulse points, on top of either the eau de toilette or the perfume. It will give another layer. It will of fragrance. It will last longer. But when I really love to use this is after I have showered and at night. And ladies, I'm just going to tell you, if you have this or the Trish McAvoy, and after you shower, if you put this on at night, your spouse is going to have a hard time. You're going to be irresistible because it smells so good. So I had to toss that in just because it's the truth. Nothing smells this good, in my opinion. So those are my current favorites and ways that you can get them at different price points. And then I've mentioned the Trish, and now I'm going to share Zames. Now, I will tell you, Zane will not have a problem with me spending what I spend on my fragrance. He's not going to, if I came home with a expensive fragrance for him, he would say, no, I don't need that. But guys, he's worn this for a year. It is not really well known because you can only get it at the store where it's sold. I'm going to tell it's from Hollister, and they've got 3 fragrances, but this is their signature. I discovered this back when the mall was a neat place to go and everybody went to the mall. And the decades ago that I started, Zane and I were young marrieds, we would come to Birmingham. And when we did, we would go to the Galleria, which is a mall. People don't really go there much anymore. Malls are not the Summit. Outdoor malls are more the thing now. But every time I would walk by Hollister, I would think, what is that fabulous smell? And it was obviously a men's cologne. And it was this. This is their signature. And guys, I think this one, it's either 35 or 50. There's 2 sizes. It's SoCal, Southern Cal. And I'm telling you, I've never smelled a men's cologne that I like better than this. Zane loves it. I love it. It's fresh. It's light. It's not heavy. It's not musky. It is just fresh and fun. And anyway, I don't know how to describe fragrance really, but unless you're going to be walking the mall and find a Hollister, you can order the smaller one online. And I promise you, or I don't think you will be disappointed, but it's such a good price point. If your husband or boyfriend didn't like it, you could give it to probably any young man, maybe for graduation or whatever, and they would love it. It's fabulous. And Zane's had a lot of different ones before this, and we both agree this is the best. So guys, that is it. That's my little podcast on fragrance. And all of these are linked in my LTK. I have a whole board with every one of the fragrances in their different configurations: body oil, cologne, Eau de Toilette perfume and body cream. And if you want to try it, they're all there. If you have any fragrances that you love, give me a shout out. I would love to hear from you all what you love and things maybe that you don't. And I'd also love to know if you use any of these that I've mentioned. That would be so much fun. And anything that you want to talk about in the future, I'm always welcome to any suggestions for topics and for guests. But I so appreciate all of you. And until next time, you have a fabulous and blessed rest of your day. Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Savvy Cast. If you'll take the time to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, that would mean so much. As always, thank you for listening and have a blessed day.